I'm Dawne McFarlane.
I'm Maryem Tollar.
We'd like to thank A Different Booklist, Cultural Centre, the People's Residence here on Bathurst Street in Toronto for their warm and generous welcome. The story we bring you is called Clever Anaeet. It comes from Armenia. The music comes from somewhere else, and yet they speak to each other.
There are two songs that bookend the whole story, and they are Sufi love songs from the Arab world. But there is a song that is interwoven throughout the story that's a traditional song from the Middle East that really reflects all of the different actions that are happening in this story.
Once in the land of Armenia, a prince was born and named Vashigan. He grew up learning all of the courtly arts, music, poetry, languages, but his favorite pastime was hunting. One fine spring morning, he went out hunting. He had been riding for hours and hours under the hot sun. His head was swimming, his mouth was parched. The horse, too, was hot. They came to a village, and around the well in the village stood a group of young women, filling their buckets with water. One of them noticed how hot Vashigan looked, and she handed up a pitcher of fresh, cold water to him. But before he could take it, another young woman grabbed it away from him. And he watched as she poured it back into her bucket, and back into the pitcher, and back into the bucket again, as if to tease him, until finally she handed up the pitcher of cool water to him. He gulped it down. And then he said to her, "Is it the custom here to tease strangers in this way?" "I did not mean to tease you," she answered him. "It was just that you were very hot, and if you had drunk the cold water right away, it could have harmed you. You needed to cool down a little first." Her reply impressed him, as did she. "What is your name?" he asked. "I am Anaeet, daughter of the shepherd Aaron." "What is your name?" she asked. Vashigan smiled. "That I cannot tell you, but you will find out soon enough." And he rode away. When Vashigan returned to the palace, he announced to the king and the queen, his mother and father, that he had found the young woman he wished to marry. "What is her name?" asked his mother. "She is Anaeet, daughter of the shepherd Aaron." "Vashigan," protested his mother, "there are many princesses worthy of your attention. A prince should not marry a shepherdess." But Vashigan's heart was set on Anaeet, and nothing the king or queen said could change it. And so finally his parents agreed that they would send a royal messenger to the village of Anaeet with gifts for her and an offer of marriage from Prince Vashigan. And when the messenger arrived at the simple shepherd's hut, Aaron and his daughter Anaeet were very surprised. The royal messenger set before Anaeet gifts of precious oils, sparkling jewels, fine fabrics. From Prince Vashigan for Anaeet. Anaeet smiled and said, "So the prince was this handsome stranger at the well." But when the messenger presented his offer of marriage, she frowned. "Tell me," she said, "what is the prince's trade?" "Trade?" said the messenger. "He has no need of a trade. He is the prince. Everyone does his bidding." "Prince one day, pauper the next," said Anaeet. "I will not marry a man who does not have a trade, for no one knows the twisting of fate." So the royal messenger had to return to the palace with this word from Anaeet. Secretly, the king and the queen were relieved. But Vashigan was not discouraged. Anaeet's counsel is wise. Of course, everyone should have a trade. And he gathered his advisors towards him to ask what trade he should learn, what trade would be suitable for him. It was decided he would learn to weave carpets. So the master craftsman of the palace was brought to him to teach him this craft. And over a cycle of the seasons, Vashigan learned how to weave a beautiful carpet. He wove a carpet depicting a garden for Anaeet. Over the cycle of seasons, the carpet was finished, and when the royal messenger presented it to Anaeet with Vashigan's offer of marriage, this time she happily accepted. Vashigan and Anaeet were wed. Lasted for 7 days. Now you may think that that's the end of the story, but it's not. The golden thread of the story of Vashigan and Anaeet continues.